Okay, so we're diving deep today into physical fitness. And this is based on some really interesting stuff you sent my way.
Yeah.
And I think our goal here is to like cut through all the noise, right?
Right.
Because there's so much out there about fitness.
So much.
And I think, for a lot of our listeners, it's about like, okay,
Yeah.
how can I quickly get up to speed?
Mm-hmm.
What do I really need to know? And how do I make this something that like
Yeah.
actually works for me in my life?
Right. And I think what really struck me looking at all this material was that it's really all about feeling good more than like, just looking good.
Right.
It's about this like sense of well-being that comes with being physically fit.
Yeah. And I think that that's a really great place to start because, one of the things that your sources touch on is just how much fitness impacts every aspect of our lives, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
it's not just about like...
Think about your height, for example.
Yeah.
Like a more active lifestyle can lead to better heart health. It can even lower your resting heart rate.
Right.
Which is a really tangible, sign of good health.
Yeah.
And then that increased efficiency in your cardiovascular system, it just fuels your energy levels throughout the day.
Right. And even beyond the obvious physical benefits.
Yeah.
Like your sources talk a lot about the mental and emotional benefits too, right?
Absolutely. Reduce stress and anxiety.
Reduce stress.
A sense of mental clarity after a workout.
Yeah.
Those are huge benefits.
Totally. And I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah.
Like that feeling of like, okay, I just moved my body. I feel so much better.
Yeah. Way more clear.
Yeah, totally.
More focused.
Yeah.
So we know fitness matters. Mm-hmm. It impacts our whole being.
Right.
But I think it's helpful maybe to break down the different ways that we can actually approach fitness.
Totally. I think it's really helpful to think of it in categories.
Mm-hmm. So you've got your cardiovascular fitness, which is all those activities that get your heart rate up.
Okay.
So brisk walking, running, cycling, swimming.
Got it.
And those are really your go-to for strengthening your heart and lungs.
Okay.
Then you've got strength training.
Okay.
Which could be anything from lifting weights to using resistance bands to even just using your own body weight for exercises like push-ups.
Right.
And that's all about building muscle mass and strength.
Okay.
And we can't forget about flexibility and mobility, which are so important for moving freely and preventing injuries. And, things like yoga and stretching are great for that.
Right.
And then lastly, you've got endurance and stamina.
Okay.
Which is really the ability to sustain physical effort for longer periods of time.
Right.
And things like HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, are really good for that.
I see.
So those are kind of your main categories of fitness.
Okay. So as you're listening to this, maybe some of these areas are already calling to you.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I'm really into cardio.
Exactly. Or maybe there's something you want to explore more.
Right. Or maybe there's one that you're like, I don't know about that one.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's helpful to have these different categories in mind.
Oh, really?
Okay. So one of the things that I thought was really cool is that your sources debunk some common myths about fitness.
Oh, yeah. There are so many misconceptions out there.
So, for example, one of the myths that we hear all the time is that you need to work out intensely every single day.
Right. You have to be going hard all the time.
Yeah.
But actually, rest is just as important as exercise.
Okay.
It's crucial for your muscles to repair.
Right.
To prevent injury.
Uh-huh.
And even for your overall progress in terms of fitness.
Okay, so it's more about consistency than it is about every single day.
Right. You can get amazing results with 3 to 5 days a week of consistent activity.
Wow, that's really reassuring, actually, to hear.
For sure.
Another myth that I think your sources help debunk is this idea that cardio is the only way to lose weight.
Right. Everyone thinks it's all about just endless cardio.
You got to be on the treadmill forever.
Yeah.
If you want to see any results.
And while cardio is definitely great for weight loss, strength training is also a really powerful tool.
Okay.
Because muscle tissue actually burns more calories.
Oh.
Even when you're at rest.
Oh, wow.
So interesting. Yeah. So building muscle mass can actually boost your metabolism and help you burn more fat overall.
Okay. So strength training is doing double duty in a way.
It is.
It's you're working out when you're working out.
Yeah.
But you're also kind of working out when you're not.
In a way.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then the last myth that I thought was really important to address is this idea that you need to spend like hours in the gym to get results.
Right. Everyone thinks it's all about these like marathon gym sessions.
Right.
But honestly, you can get a really effective workout in like 30 minutes.
Really?
If you're focused and you know what you're doing.
Okay.
It's all about quality over quantity.
So it's not about like the amount of time you're there.
Exactly.
It's about like...
It's about the intensity and the effectiveness.
The quality of the workout.
Of that workout.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Right. Because I think, you know, for a lot of people, it's just like finding the time, right?
Time is the biggest barrier.
Yeah, it feels overwhelming.
Totally.
To think about like fitting in like another 2 hours of my day.
Right.
But like 30 minutes, that feels a little...
Much more manageable.
More doable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about like why fitness matters and different types of fitness. We've debunked some myths.
Yeah.
Now, like, how do we actually make this happen?
How do we actually get started?
Right. Like, what are some practical tips?
Okay. So one of the biggest things is to start small.
Okay.
Like, don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Right.
Just start with something small and manageable.
Like what?
Like even a 10-minute walk every day.
Really?
Can make a difference.
Wow.
It's about building that foundation.
Okay.
And then from there, you can gradually increase the intensity or the duration of your workouts. Another key tip is to find something you actually enjoy doing.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
If you hate running, don't force yourself to run.
Right.
You know, find something that you actually look forward to.
Right. Like what are some examples?
I mean, it could be anything like dancing, hiking, swimming, playing a sport, whatever gets you moving and makes you feel good.
And I think that makes it so much more sustainable too, right?
Absolutely, because you're not going to stick with something.
Yeah.
If you dread it.
Right. It has to be something you enjoy.
Totally.
And I think another thing that your source has talked about is like setting realistic goals.
Oh yeah, that's crucial.
Right.
Don't try to do too much too soon.
Yeah.
Set small, achievable goals. And celebrate your progress along the way.
Right, because otherwise it just feels like this like insurmountable mountain.
Yeah, and it's easy to get discouraged.
Yeah, totally.
And then another really helpful tip is to find ways to stay accountable.
Okay, how do we do that?
So like find a workout buddy, someone who can like motivate you and keep you on track.
Yeah.
Or use an app to track your progress.
Right.
Like those can be really helpful tools.
Okay, and then I think the last thing, and this is like maybe the most important thing, is to listen to your body.
Absolutely.
Right.
Rest and recovery are so important.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself to the point of injury.
Right.
You know, if you need a day off, take a day off.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Totally.
So as you're thinking about all this, right, like instead of focusing on like some intense short-lived fitness burst, like what's one small enjoyable thing that you could do starting today to add a little bit more movement into your daily life?
Okay.
Something that you could see yourself doing like consistently for the long haul.
Yeah.
I think that's really where the true benefits lie.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah.
Like what's that one small thing that you can do today that you can build on?
Yeah.
And just make it part of your routine.
Make it a habit.
Make it a habit. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.